Good afternoon. This is All India Radio and I am Gaurang Dhawanlal with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says good governance is most essential for success of government schemes to reach the last mile. Prime Minister to transfer 13th installment of PM Kisan scheme to more than 8 crore farmers' accounts this afternoon. More than 44% polling recorded in assembly elections in Meghalaya till 1 p.m. Nagaland registers over 58% voter turnout. Delhi High Court upholds validity of Centre's Agnipath scheme, dismisses all pleas challenging it, and Women 20 Inception meeting under India's G20 presidency begins at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Maharashtra. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has highlighted that good governance is the most essential condition for the success of government works and schemes, and reaching the last mile is only possible with it. Addressing a post-budget webinar on reaching the last mile, Mr. Modi said the more emphasis one puts on good governance, the more easily the goal of reaching the last mile will be accomplished.
गुड गवर्नेंस का इसमें बहुत बड़ा रोल है, उसकी बहुत बड़ी ताकत है, जिसने लास्ट माइल डिलीवरी को संभव बनाया। रीचिंग द लास्ट माइल की अप्रोच और सैचुरेशन की नीति एक दूसरे की पूरक है। एक समय था जब गरीब मूल सुविधाओं के लिए सरकार के पास चक्कर लगाता रहता था, किसी बिचौलिए की तलाश में रहता था, जिसके कारण करप्शन भी बढ़ता था और लोगों के अधिकारों का हनन भी होता था। अब सरकार गरीब के दरवाजे पर जाकर उसे सुविधाएं दे रही है।
The Prime Minister gave the example of new approaches in the immunization and vaccine coverage in Mission Indradhanush and the COVID pandemic to illustrate the power of good governance in last mile delivery.
अगर पुरानी अप्रोच के साथ काम करते तो भारत में वैक्सीनेशन कवरेज को 100% करने में कई दशक और बीत जाते। हमने नई अप्रोच के साथ काम शुरू किया, मिशन इंद्रधनुष शुरू किया और पूरे देश में वैक्सीनेशन की व्यवस्था को सुधारा। जब कोरोना वैश्विक महामारी आई तो इस नई व्यवस्था, नए सिस्टम का लाभ हमें दूर सुदूर वैक्सीन पहुंचाने में भी मिला।
Explaining the thinking behind the policy of saturation, the Prime Minister said that the approach of reaching the last mile and saturation policy complement each other. He said, as opposed to the earlier scenario when the poor were running after the government for basic facilities, now the government is reaching the doorstep of the poor. Mr. Modi added that the day one decides that every basic facility will be provided to every citizen in every area, then one will see what a big change will come in the work culture at the local level. He underlined that when the aim is to reach everyone, then there will be no scope for discrimination and corruption. The Prime Minister stressed on the need to take the mantra of reaching the last mile to the tribal and rural areas in the country. He said that the whole of the nation approach is needed to rapidly provide facilities under special missions for the most deprived among the tribal community. He said the government is trying its best to tap the vast potential of the country's tribal people, and this year's union budget has been devoted to tribal development. The Eklavya Model Residential School is one such example.
इस बार के बजट में भी ट्राइबल डेवलपमेंट को प्रमुखता दी गई है। एकलव्य मॉडल रेसिडेंशियल स्कूलों में शिक्षकों और स्टाफ की भर्ती का बहुत बड़ा प्रावधान किया गया है। इन स्कूलों में अभी से स्टार्टअप्स के लिए, डिजिटल मार्केटिंग के लिए वर्कशॉप शुरू करवाएं तो इसका कितना बड़ा लाभ हमारे आदिवासी समाज को होगा। जब ये बच्चे एकलव्य मॉडल स्कूलों से पढ़कर निकलेंगे तो उन्हें पहले से पता होगा कि अपने क्षेत्र के ट्राइबल प्रोडक्ट को उन्हें कैसे प्रमोट करना है।
The Prime Minister has said that the double-engine government at the centre and in Bengaluru has taken development several notches up, and this has benefited the poor, the farmers, the younger generation, women and sisters. He was speaking in Shivamogga today in Karnataka after inaugurating the Shivamogga airport and laying foundation stones for various rail, road and water connection related projects.
शिवमोगा एयरपोर्ट बहुत ही भव्य बना है, बहुत ही सुंदर है। इस एयरपोर्ट में भी कर्नाटका के ट्रेडिशनल और टेक्नोलॉजी का अद्भुत संगम नजर आता है। आज रोड और रेल से जुड़े अनेक प्रोजेक्ट्स का भी शिलान्यास हुआ है। हर घर नल से जल के प्रोजेक्ट भी काम शुरू हो रहा है। विकास के ऐसे हर प्रोजेक्ट के लिए मैं शिवमोगा के और आसपास के सभी जिलों का, वहां के सभी नागरिकों को बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं।
He said that there were just 74 airports in India before 2014 and the aviation sector was in the doldrums. Today, 74 additional airports are functional and the Udan program has enabled people wearing Hawaii chappals to have Hawaii Udan.
हमने तय किया कि हवाई चप्पल पहनने वाला भी हवाई यात्रा कर पाए, इसलिए हमने बहुत ही कम कीमत पर हवाई टिकट देने वाली उड़ान योजना शुरू की। आज जब मैं देखता हूं कि मेरे कितने ही गरीब भाई बहन पहली बार हवाई जहाज में चढ़ रहे हैं और उससे मुझे बहुत संतोष होता है।
In Belagavi, the Prime Minister will release the 13th installment amount of 16,800 crore rupees under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Yojana to benefit 8 crore farmers. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts. Polling is underway for assembly elections in Meghalaya and Nagaland. In Meghalaya, 44.73% voter turnout was recorded till 1 p.m. Polling, which began at 7 a.m., will conclude at 4 p.m. Voting is taking place for 59 assembly constituencies. Polling for the Soyong constituency in East Khasi Hills district has been adjourned due to the death of a candidate. A total of 369 candidates, including 36 women, are in the fray for 59 seats. 119 companies of armed forces have been deployed to ensure peaceful polling. We now go over live to our correspondent MS Lakshmi, who is in Shillong. Lakshmi, how is the polling progressing in the state?
Gaura, a large number of first-time voters are also seen turning out at polling stations during the first hour, and some of them received mementos from the election authorities for casting their vote early. The election authorities have given medals and certificates to 5 early voters at each polling station across the state to encourage the early voting. The authorities have left no stone unturned to reach out voters to increase voter turnout. Besides setting up 58 polling stations in far-reaching and remote areas, while withstanding several odd situations like long trekking and poor accessibility, they also set up a lone temporary polling station at Leprosy Center in Nangpa to enable the inmates to utilize their franchise. Volunteers like scouts and guides are helping the aged and differently abled voters to cast their vote without any hindrance. Members of women SHGs are taking care of children at some of the all-women polling stations while their mothers cast their vote. So far, the polling is continuing peacefully and there is no untoward incident. Gaura.
Thank you, Lakshmi, for that comprehensive update. In Nagaland, over 58% voter turnout was recorded till 1 p.m. 183 candidates, including 4 women candidates, are in the fray. We now go over live to our correspondent, Manas Pratim Sarma in Kohima. Manas, how is the polling progressing and what is the update that you have for us?
Gaura, I am right now outside a polling booth at Tufoma, which comes under Northern Angami 2 Assembly constituency. Here, incumbent Chief Minister Nephew Ryu is a candidate from this constituency. People are in large number coming out to exercise their voting rights. I particularly said the senior citizens are more enthusiastic. We have seen the more excitement among the senior voters. Along with my colleague Astonu, we have visited several polling booths here at Kohima at adjoining areas. Bearing some minor incidents, by and large, polling is going on very peacefully as mentioned by the senior police officials. Gaura?
Right. Manas, could you also share some more information on seats and candidates?
There are a total of 183 candidates. BJP already bagged one seat uncontested, so polling is going on for 59 seats here. Among the prominent candidates, NDPP leader and Chief Minister Nephew Rio is contesting from here. Former Chief Minister T.R. Jeliang is also contesting. Deputy Chief Minister and BJP leader Y. Patan, State BJP President, very active in social media. Recently, Prime Minister also appreciated his role in social media. Tamzen Imna along. For Congress, Kate Therier, Rosie Thompson, and PF A. Kikon, Kujolujo Nienu, they are all in the fray in this election. But despite that, women have a very, reputed role in the society. It's a lots of respect from all across the society in Nagaland, the women folks. Despite that, somehow, as of now, not a single female candidate managed to win in the assembly polls. This time, 4 women candidates are in the contest, and we hope that someone may, able to create history. By and large, peaceful polling is going on. Dora, back to you.
Thank you, Manas, for that update. Moving on to more news. The Delhi High Court today upheld the validity of the Agnipath military recruitment scheme. Dismissing a batch of petitions against the recruitment scheme, the court said it was formulated in national interest and to ensure that the armed forces are better equipped. A bench headed by the Chief Justice of the Delhi High Court, Justice Satish Chandra Sharma, and also comprising Justice Subramaniam, said there is no reason to interfere in the scheme. During the hearing, Additional Solicitor General Aishwarya Bhati appeared for the central government and submitted before the court that more than 10 lakh aspirants have been given the benefit of age relaxation. The Agnipath scheme is a major paradigm shift in the recruitment process for defence personnel. The Union Cabinet on the 14th of June last year approved a recruitment scheme for Indian youth to serve in the 3 services of the armed forces called Agnipath, and the youth selected under this scheme will be known as Agniveers. Agnipath allows patriotic and motivated youth to serve in the armed forces for a period of 4 years. Union Minister for Women and Child Development and Minority Affairs, Smriti Irani, inaugurated the Women 20 or W20 Inception meeting today at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Maharashtra. Women 20 is an official engagement group under India's G20 presidency. Addressing the inaugural session, Mrs. Irani said that W20 may give guidance on how to use best practices to make empowerment of women more effective.
Now, will we reduce women to only users of technology, or shall we leverage technology to bring about equity? And I'm hopeful that the W20, amalgam of the best minds across the world, can also give us guidance as to how to use the best practices from each country so that we can leverage technology to build more on women businesses, to build more on women in our agrarian societies, to build more on women's needs in the health sector.
Around 150 women dignitaries from G20 member countries, guest countries and special invitees are participating in the 2-day meeting. In our bilingual live phone-in program Public Speak at 9:30 tonight, we will bring you a discussion on earthquake safety and preparedness with experts Krishna S. Vatsa, member, and Kunal Satyarthi, Joint Secretary, National Disaster Management Authorities. Listeners can ask the experts questions on earthquake safety measures and other queries related to earthquake disasters. Listeners can also seek answers from 9:30 p.m. onwards on telephone numbers 011-2371-7106 and 011-2331-4444. And now, before we close the headlines once again, Prime Minister Narendra Modi says good governance is most essential for success of government schemes to reach the last mile. Prime Minister to transfer 13th installment of PM Kisan scheme to more than 8 crore farmers' accounts this afternoon. More than 44% polling recorded in assembly elections in Meghalaya till 1 p.m. Nagaland registers over 58% voter turnout. Delhi High Court upholds validity of centre's Agnipath scheme, dismisses all pleas challenging it, and Women 20 Inception meeting under India's G20 presidency begins at Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar in Maharashtra. And with that, we end the midday news.